Let's say you've hit a high point in your career, the family is doing well, and you feel the need to reward yourself. Of course, you're going to look for something that's big enough for everyone, obviously, drives well, has a certain level of prestige that wouldn't look out of place at the office, the golf club, or the pickup area of your kid's international school. Well, lucky you because you're spoiled for choice. There's the BMW X5, the Mercedes-Benz GLE, the Lexus RX, the Volvo XC90, and if you cut enough costs by laying off people, you might just find yourself with the budget for a Porsche Cayenne. But what if you're nice? What if you don't want to cut costs by laying off people? What if you want something that ticks all the boxes without being boxed in with the usuals? Well, after a long absence in the Malaysian market, the Volkswagen Touareg is finally back. So could this be your next perfect car? Let's find out. So first, a bit of basic info before we get into the meat of it. The Volkswagen Touareg is now a CKD model at the Highcom plant in Pekan, and it's also the first time that this model is being assembled outside of Europe. In Malaysia, we only get one spec at the time of shooting, and it's this, the R-Line variant, which goes for 472,000 ringgit with the Volkswagen Assurance Package, which includes a 5-year unlimited mileage warranty and a 5-year maintenance package. Without it, the Touareg goes for 454,000 ringgit. Now, on to the looks. I really like the looks of it. I think it's a lot better than its German counterparts and more on par with the Volvo XC90. It's got a very organic flow to its lines and the proportions are bang on perfect, especially when viewed from the rear and front 3/4. As this is the R-Line variant, it's got a set of gaping air intakes to complement the broad front grille. Lighting wise, we get Volkswagen's IQ Light LED matrix headlights with, get this, a total of 38,432 micro LEDs between the two front units. The 20-inch Braga two-tone wheels are nice, but I can't help feeling they run the risk of looking a bit small. At the rear, we get full-width tail lights and an illuminated Volkswagen logo. Now, personally speaking, I find that illuminated logos are a bit tacky, but that's just me. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about logos that can be lit up. Elsewhere, I'm happy to report that the Volkswagen Touareg has two real exhaust outlets. Boot space. So, pop the tailgate open, and you get 810 litres of luggage space, and if you need more, you can always fold the 40-20-40 split folding seats down to get a total of 1,800 litres. No issues whatsoever trying to fit a 24-inch and a 20-inch suitcase back here. No issues whatsoever. Also to note, the Touareg rides on self-leveling air suspension, so if you need a lower load lip, you can always just push this button here and the car can lower itself by up to 40mm. On the flip side, if you need to take it off-road, you can always heighten it up by about 70mm. There's also a power socket for added practicality, and if you ever want to fold the seats down, just tug on the levers here and voila. Also, there's a space saver, so that's nice. Stepping aside, first impressions, it's nice. It definitely looks and feels premium enough with lots of soft touch surfaces almost everywhere. But, and this is a big but, the immediate lack of physical buttons is quite depressing. So, AC controls and entertainment are all basically lumped onto the 15-inch touchscreen as part of Volkswagen's InnoVision cockpit setup. Now, I'm never a fan of this because on the move, it's always easier and safer to just push a button or twist a knob rather than having to swipe across the screen. You do, however, get a volume adjuster down here, but you know, with steering wheel controls, it's kind of redundant really. Then you get to the steering wheel, which feels nice in your hands, but haptic touch buttons. You know, yes, you can still press them, but the case with haptic touch buttons that is always a bit of a gamble. Sometimes you get them on the first try, sometimes you get them on the 100th try. On the plus side, there's wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which makes sense since there's also wireless charging. And the 12.3-inch digital cluster is highly customizable, so you get a lot of information plastered across one screen, which is all the better considering there's no head-up display. As much as I might bash the touchscreen and all that, I have to say, the graphics and interface are very smooth and easy to use once you get used to it. In fact, the learning curve is not really that steep at all. And it's not very prone to lagging. You know, I've been swiping across very quickly across multiple submenus and no lag whatsoever. Other features worth mentioning include 4-zone climate control, 30-color ambient lighting, 360-degree camera which has decent quality, it's alright, gets the job done but it's not the best, and as well, occupants are not going to have any problems charging their devices because we get 5 USB-C ports, 3 up front and 2 at the back, plus 2 12-volt power sockets. Now, as for storage space, I'm afraid it's a bit of a downer. So we don't have any cutouts near the handle for your cards and whatnot, and the armrest opens up to a frankly pathetic amount of storage space. But the upside is that the door cards can fit a half-liter bottle and another slot for your wallet and whatnot, and there are also 2 cup holders in the center console. At the back, there is a decent amount of room. So for reference, I'm 184 centimeters tall with the front seat adjusted to my driving position. I have about 1 tennis ball worth of legroom, but I can also slide my feet underneath, so that's nice. And I have about 1.5 tennis balls worth of headroom. Now the seats can also slide and recline, so passengers can always just fine-tune the position that's most comfortable for them on longer journeys. Also, we get sunshades, so you can pull it up, recline, and relax. Storage space is decent. You get nets on the back of both front seats. Your half-liter bottle can fit into the door cards here, and if you pull the center armrest down, you get 2 cup holders. What else do we have? Well, we've got vents, 2-zone climate control back here for a total of 4 all around the car. We also get additional AC vents on the pillars, and as I've mentioned, we get 2 USB-C ports back here next to 1 12-volt power socket. And last but not least, there's a nice tapao hook by the pillar here, so you can always just hang your drinks to chill it or hang your coat. Right, on the move, so let's get the tech specs out of the way first. Under the bonnet, a 3-litre turbocharged V6 with 340 horsepower and 450 Newton meters of torque, paired to an 8-speed automatic gearbox and 4-motion all-wheel drive. Now, if that engine sounds familiar, that's because it is. It's the same one found in the Cayenne, except in the Cayenne, it's got 13 more horsepower and 50 Newton meters of torque. But if you're keen to see how it stacks up against the rest, then you can. Just head on over to WapCar.my and you can compare them side by side. But how does it feel once you're really on the move? Well, power is more than adequate, but throttle response can be a little bit sharper. I mean, it's not a sports car, yes, I know that, but there is a noticeable lag between putting your foot down and the car actually picking up and moving. However, once you get going though, then it's not a problem. The gearbox is very well calibrated and it's very smooth all the way. As for ride comfort, well, we've got air suspension, so the ride around town is very, very pliant and very cushy. Rough surfaces, potholes, nasty stretches, all of that's not a problem. It gets ironed out very, very quickly. You just glide over most of them. So, how to get the best from this car? Just lean on the throttle, smooth steering inputs, which feels kind of vague by the way. Crank up the volume on that 13 speakers, 730 watt dyno audio sound system. Let the air suspension do its job, and you've got a very competent, very relaxing city cruiser, as big as it may be. At highway speeds, I don't have anything major to complain about, except for the fact that I wish the ride was a little bit more planted, a little bit more tied down. You see, that cushiness is very much appreciated in town, but out on fast, undulating roads, you can feel the car bouncing about a lot more than necessary. Whatever you do, please don't throw it into corners, okay? This is where I feel it differs the most from the Cayenne, because that feels like a hot hatch on stilts, while this is very much a cruiser. Body roll is quite noticeable, okay? It doesn't corner as flat as other performance SUVs, so just tone down the aggression, let it settle into a nice cruise, and everything will work out fine. There's barely any noise from the outside at all. It's very, very zen-like, which is what a good family SUV should be. In terms of safety kit, we have the IQ Drive Suite, which brings us AEB, ACC with stop-go, blind spot monitoring, lane centering assist, front and rear cross-traffic alert, driver attention warning, park assist, and a tire pressure monitoring system. All pretty standard but important stuff. However, there are 2 features on the Touareg worth mentioning. Number 1 is the ACC. It's very, very well calibrated in that braking and acceleration feels very organic, and it's even able to catch and react to most drivers who think it's their right of way to cut in front of you without indicating. Next up is the night vision system. So this uses an infrared camera to scan about 130 meters down the road in dim conditions. to pick out pedestrians, cyclists and animals, and if they are not in immediate danger, then they'll be highlighted in yellow, and if they are, they'll be highlighted in red, so pay attention. This is an interesting feature, but I doubt we'll use it in Malaysia because our highways are always well lit, and it's not like random cyclists are going to appear on the highway out of nowhere. So, is the new Volkswagen Touareg for you? Well, if you're looking for a relatively timeless-looking modern luxury SUV, then yes, I would say the Volkswagen Touareg is the perfect car for you. But I wouldn't blame you if you were to pick the other usual suspects either. Because in this market, sometimes external expectations can play a role in which car you choose. Standing out too much might not be the best idea. Unless of course you enjoy people asking you, why not X5? Why not RX? On and on and on and on. I guess it all boils down to what circle you roll in and whether or not you care about what people think of you. Me? I like left wheel choices, so I wouldn't mind the Touareg or even the Volvo XC90 for that matter. But that's just me. Given $500,000, what would you get? Let me know in the comments below. And on that note, I think it's time we call it a day. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Drive safe and take care everybody.